this in just a second. Another one that I like very much is called Twitter Feed. This is a service that, and now I'm going to get technical. Okay, so I get to put my white lab coat on. If you have an RSS feed, how many of you have an RSS feed? Okay, so it's not that technical. What Twitter Feed does is it takes any RSS source and automatically publishes it to Twitter or to Facebook. So if you have a news site that is already publishing RSS, through the Twitter Feed service, you can then make it so that Twitter is like a headline service. So this is a very good tool to be using, and we use this quite a bit. Another one that many people use already is a URL shortener. Twitter has 140 characters of limit. You know, you have to be very brief in your description or your status on Twitter. This service Bitly, like tinyURL or any of these things, it shortens the link into something that fits in your Twitter message so that it doesn't take many characters of the 140. But what is most useful about Bitly is that it also gives you statistics about who has clicked on what. Now these are the statistics from a couple of days ago on my blog. Right? And you know, I don't have a really popular blog. I'm not Notka. I don't have like a super popular blog. But what's nice about something like Bitly is that I can see via Twitter how many people have clicked on my links, so that I can see how popular a post has been or how effective it is. And because this is real time, I can monitor this as it is happening. So Bitly is extremely useful this way. AddThis and Bitly are all free, and so is Twitter Feed. These are free of no cost. Finally, if you're not using Google Analytics, you really should be, because this is a great way of getting very good insight into what's going on your site. One of the greatest things about Google Analytics is that you can also set it up so that when your site visitation jumps, for example, maybe somebody links to you, maybe they're talking about what you're doing, you want to know about that. And Google Analytics can actually send you an alert when you have a spike in your traffic. So that's extremely useful. Google Analytics also can tell you where people are coming from and how long they have spent on your site, how engaged they are. So definitely Google Analytics is worth your while to get involved with. Let's talk about the 4 flavors of Facebook. Everybody uses Facebook? Okay, there's the guy that says Twitter sucks, was your quote? Yeah? Yeah, okay. Any Facebook haters? Who hates Facebook? Ooh, okay, okay. Now, I say that there are 4 flavors to Facebook, right? Because there are 4 ways that sites can interact with Facebook, okay? The first one is the most obvious one. This is the profile, right? This is my profile on Facebook from a couple of days ago. This is the easiest thing to set up. It's what most people do. But frequently, especially in Georgia, I have seen that many newspapers will set themselves up as a person. And yeah, you can do that. You know, people do, but I don't recommend doing that. The reason is that a profile is limited to the number of friends that you can have. And that number is set at 5,000. Now, normally for a human being, there's no way you're going to get 5,000 friends unless you're somebody really famous, right? However, if you have a bigger newspaper or a TV channel or something like that, getting to that 5,000 limit is probably not going to be so much of a problem. So, having a profile on Facebook, if you're a media organization, is not such a good idea. Now, the reason that people will do a profile is that normally, this is the only way, or that used to be the only way, that you could actually get into people's news feeds, right? So that in Facebook, that central column is what they call the news feed. And this was the only way that you could get your status into someone else's news feed. But this has changed. The thing now is what they call the fan page. And anyone can set up a fan page. The example that I have here is actually of the Office of the Czech Government, and they have a fan page on Facebook. It has maybe 300 fans. That many, yeah. They're very popular. However, what's important about a fan page is that it actually, the posts appear in the news stream. Okay, so it behaves like a person in this regard, but you're not limited to 5,000 fans or 5,000 people, friends. But also, what's really useful about the fan page is that you have very detailed information about the people who are your fans. How many men, how many women, how old, where are they coming from? All of this information is collected for you and is reported on in pretty close to real time through the analytics that Facebook provides. So if you are a media organization, I would strongly recommend a fan page. But there are a couple of other things that you can do that go even beyond this. The first of them is Facebook Connect. Facebook has a service, and there are many of these now. They're called single sign-on services. And basically what it does is, if you have an account, a login, let's say with Facebook, that login can be used to authenticate yourself on other websites. So sometimes you'll see this where you can log in using your Facebook identity. Now what's neat about that is that then what it means is that you can connect the comments of your website to the comments on the fan page. And depending on how talented your programmers are, you can go even further than that. But the basis of this is the sharing of your identity between Facebook and your site. And that happens through this Facebook Connect service. Now, how many people play Farmville? Farmville?
Never.
Nobody wants to admit it, right? I'm not going to admit that. No, I play Mafia Wars. Join my mob. Okay, you know what I'm talking about, right? Mafia Wars and Farmville and all of these applications that can be played on Facebook are what they call Facebook applications. And they appear on the left-hand side of the Facebook page, and you can add these applications, right? Now, if you're a media organization and you're trying to figure out how to make money from your social media presence, one thing to consider would be actually to create an application for your media. And the biggest reason that you want to do that is because if you have an application, you can serve banners. And those banners are actually served through Facebook. They're your banners, and they're served by your ad server, whether it's OpenX or whatever you're using, but they can be presented to users through the Facebook interface. And everybody is falling asleep.
Can you give us an example?
Can I give an example of this? I was trying to get one right now. The Minnesota Daily is a college newspaper out of the University of Minnesota. I think it's in somewhere in the US.
St. Paul.
St. Paul. Thank you. The Minnesota Daily has a Facebook application, and their site does exactly this, where all of their discussions, all of the comments and all of that is all handled by Facebook. But, and as well, the way that they're making money is they're serving banners through the Facebook application. So, that would be an example. This is more involved. This is something that would require a talented programmer. And you know, there's not something right off the shelf that you can use for this, because it is a little bit more involved to create. However, this is where I'm starting to recommend to my clients that we start to look in terms of creating these things, hopefully using my talented programmers. Finally, here's another example of a simple Facebook application. This is from the New York Times. This is the most emailed articles from the New York Times, and you can actually add this as a Facebook app. So you're not leaving Facebook. You're still, you know, doing all the things that you normally do through Facebook, but you can also get your news in the Facebook clothing or in that skin. So that would be another example of how this is being used by media. Usually as well, when I talk to especially top-level executives at media companies, nobody ever wants to be the first at something, just like, you know, they don't want to be the crazy guy out there dancing, right? So when I tell them, well, the New York Times is doing it, and then they go, oh, okay, well then it's okay to do. All right, well, the point is that this is an area that you can move into, and there are a lot of opportunities there.